those selfie moments in. Now we're going to move on to our industry awards, where we recognize individuals or companies who have made an impact on the creative industry. To present the first of the evening's industry awards, please welcome to the stage Tammy Browning-Smith of Tammy Browning-Smith PC. Now, I just got to throw this in. Yes, I'm doing it. On March 23rd, Tammy is going to be sworn in to practice in front of the Supreme Court, and she will be sworn in by RGB and the rest of the Supreme Court. How cool is that? And tomorrow is her birthday. Come on up here, I've embarrassed you enough. Yeah, give an award away. But that Supreme Court thing, really cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Dignity, hope, compassion, health, and love. It's hard to believe that one bar of soap can bring all of these life-affirming emotions to restore a person both physically and mentally. Stacy Wiener recognized this and organized S.A.C.K. Support a community with kindness. Stacy and the S.A.C.K. team have knitted, crocheted, and sewn over 55,000 sacks, and those are the only ones that have been reported. Each with a bar of soap for the homeless shelters, food pantries, veterans clinics, relief efforts, and so much more. Stacy showcases the best of how crafting makes a difference in our world. The Special Recognition Award is presented to a person, group, or company for their extraordinary contribution in an activity that showcases the craft and hobby industry in a positive way. Stacy Wiener is the best of all of us. And I ask you to please join me in welcoming Stacy to the stage to receive the 2020 AFCI Special Recognition Award.
First of all, I'd like to personally thank Tammy from the bottom of my heart for recommending me for this honor. You have been so supportive of me and S.A.C.K. I want you to know how grateful I am. I'd also like to thank AFCI and the judging committee for choosing me for this special recognition award. It is truly an honor. So a little bit about me. I've been a long-time knitter and crocheter, starting out, like many, making scarves, hats, and sweaters for family and friends. However, about 15 years ago, like most, having provided family and friends with all the knitted and crocheted items that they could use, I began turning my interests into what I love best, philanthropy and volunteering. I started making scarves and blankets for Project Linus with a group of like-minded people who shared my ideals. To make sense of this story, you need to know something about me. I'm a Jersey girl, and not just a typical Jersey girl, but a Jersey beach girl. During the summer months, I spend a good deal of my free time, weather permitting, on the beach. As you can imagine, crocheting blankets on the beach is not ideal. You see, you get a little hot and sweaty when you're sitting by the shore crocheting blankets in the sun. So after donating hundreds of blankets, I knew I needed to come up with another idea on what I could crochet while sitting on the beach, items that would be needed in my community. That is where being a volunteer at a food pantry comes into play, and the idea was presented to me without having to look so far. You see, from talking with our clients at the pantry, I found out that you can't buy non-food items with food stamps. The clients would come in asking for soap and other toiletries. Unfortunately, we rarely had toiletries on the shelves. Thus, my new volunteer project was born. I would crochet and knit small 4x6 inch sacks from cotton blend yarn, fill them with full bars of soap, and distribute them to food pantries, shelters, veteran clinics, transitional housing centers, and social service agencies. So my own personal little crochet began by making these sacks, adding soap, and donating them around my county. Surprisingly, when at the beach, waiting in a doctor's office, or knitting and crochet groups, people would often ask me, "What are you doing?" And more often than not, when I told them, they would ask if they could do it as well. So over the course of a year, I had a small group of people helping by contributing to my cause. It was then that the tipping point occurred. My local newspaper had heard about me and what I was up to. A reporter called to ask if he could do a story about me and my little cause. Of course I said yes. What I didn't realize is that the local paper, being part of Gannett, was going to put the article online in the USA Today section and that it was going to have national circulation. Amazingly, people from all over the United States began contacting me, asking how they can get involved. This was the moment that it occurred to me. Maybe this is something that could be bigger. In short, I decided that I wanted to create a virtual community of crafters that could do good within their communities. And so S.A.C.K, Supporting a Community with Kindness, was born in 2017 with a virtual community of volunteer crafters who would knit and crochet sacks and donate them with soap within their own communities. But there were two things I wasn't quite ready for. One, that within a very short period of time of trademarking the logo, forming a 501c3, and having internet presence, that S.A.C.K would have almost 6,000 Facebook followers, communicating with each other on a daily basis and inspiring each other regarding the good things that they were doing. It blew me away how these people from all 50 states in the country became friends, warm wishers, and supporters of each other and our cause. Two, that this wasn't just about providing people in need with a small offering of dignity and love by a S.A.C.K volunteer, but it was about the volunteers themselves. So many of our volunteers are knitters and crocheters who, like me, were looking for something to do with the craft that they love. There is an entire community of crafters out there looking to do good things for people and not knowing how to tie the two together. This was eye-opening, not only because of the good it provided to the community, but the good it provided to all those crafters looking for motivation and a way to give back. There is a third thing that I'd also like to mention, one that became very evident this past fall when my husband and I went to pick up over 2,000 sacks being donated by a husband and wife soap sack team. You see, the wife had been bedridden with depression with no motivation to get out of bed. What they shared with us was that making soap sacks had become a passion of theirs, motivating her in a way that they had not planned. She now spends the better part of her day up and out of bed crocheting soap sacks. They even have their grandchildren helping out. I never thought that combining my love of crocheting and knitting with volunteering would have such an impact on people, but it is. Which is why I believe I am here today. I am so very grateful that you are honoring me and all of the S.A.C.K volunteers around the country with this AFCI Special Recognition Award. To date, we estimate that in just over 2 years, we have distributed over 55,000 soap sacks around the world. And yes, we partner with organizations both in and out of the United States. So it is with gratitude that I thank you and accept this award for S.A.C.K, myself, and all of its volunteers. Crafting has changed not only their lives, but the lives of those that our soap sacks find their way to. Thank you so much for this honor.
Kind of makes you feel like an underachiever, doesn't it?